Just put it up on
Right.
Then you can just put it on Facebook, like you usually do. Hey everyone, hi! Welcome to Lunch Break with ATI, the weekly podcast for Actors Theater of Indiana, the resident professional theater company at the Center for the Performing Arts in Carmel, Indiana, US of A. My name is Cindy Collins. I'm one of the co-founders of Actors Theater of Indiana, and today I have Mr. Jonathan Burd.
How you doing?
But he goes by Jack, just Jack. Okay, so he is an old friend of Scott Osborne, and Scott does all the behind the scenes, runs the whole show here, and they went to high school together many, not too many years ago. They're still spring chickens, compared to me. But what we've been doing, and I wasn't here last week, but what's been going on in the past, 2 or 3 weeks is friends of Scott who have become, quite frankly, entrepreneurs who have either continued a family business or completely branched off from how they grew up with their family business and are doing their own thing. And Jack, you are that's what you're doing. Your family owned a car dealership?
Yes. Our family owned a car dealership back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's what I grew up around.
And
entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Oh, so you were doing that. Obviously, you know cars. Did you ever work there?
I was a lot boy, where basically you just kind of park the cars.
Yeah.
At that point, I was 12, 13, 14.
Parking cars?
So it was fun for me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun for me to be able to hop in the car and be like, hey, I'm going to pull it around back. So,
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool experience.
Well, for kids, they're like, I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm driving.
It's a responsibility thing. And when you get that trust from your parents, it's a lot of responsibility.
That's funny. So then, obviously you went to high school. Where'd you go to college?
I went to Lawrence Central for high school.
Yeah.
And then I went to Ball State for college.
Chirp, chirp.
Chirp, chirp.
Great school. So, and then you got out and you were like, what am I going to do? Because what was your major? Did you major in business? Or?
Yeah, that's a good question. And it's kind of a weird story how I kind of fumbled into where I'm at now.
Right.
So I went for economics. I got my economic degree.
Okay.
That was something I was passionate about. I liked it in high school, and just kind of looking at the charts and kind of making determinations of what's going to happen in the future, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was very cool to me. But then I always had a passion for law school. So that was something I really wanted to do. For whatever reason.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the TV shows, all these lawyer TV shows that I liked watching. Who knows?
That and doctors.
Yeah. So I did take the LSAT and I applied to IAPY and all this stuff. I was going down that path.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew that I was going to have to pull out a student loan for it. So went to a career fair, found, basically was like, hey, does anyone have tuition reimbursement? It's a cool little app where you could put criteria in and say, hey, go to this company, this company, this company. So I went to a handful of companies.
Okay.
And I fell into insurance with
Okay.
Indiana Farm Bureau.
Yeah, right. So now, flash forward, you have your own franchise.
Yep.
Of it, and where it started. Where was the first building? Where was the first brick and mortar?
Yeah, so our franchise, or I'm agency owner,
Right.
It started, we opened up in, let's see.
In Fisher. Well, you were in Fishers, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We opened in 2021 in Fishers.
Okay.
Right at 106th and Allisonville. We were there for 2 years.
And then
We've now moved to 38th and Central in a temporary location.
And then ta-da-da!
And we're renovating a building at 27th and College.
That you bought?
That we bought, yep.
Yep.
So we are renovating that, and hopefully we have a really beautiful space for our clients to come in, and
It's going to be awesome.
the team to feel rejuvenated in a new space and keep the morale going. Because a desk job, you gotta have a nice space to work in. Because you're
there all the
time. You're there 40 hours a week.
Right.
Yep.
And this building that you bought was this old building that was the person didn't want it from an estate.
Yep.
And so you bought it. And you gutted the whole thing.
Yep.
Gut. And you're going to make an office.
Yep.
2 apartments and another office.
Correct.
So you will be not just an insurance agent, you will now be a landlord.
Yep.
Owning your own real estate with 2 apartments and another business next to you.
Correct. So
excellent.
The day job, or the day business, Monday through Friday is going to be
Right.
my insurance practice. In hopes that in 10 years I can kind of step away, and I've layered myself out of the business to it's self-sufficient.
Okay.
But then, me and my wife, Kara, and I, we want to have something that she can do, and when the kids are around, something that she can maybe help manage properties or, whatever that looks like. But
right,
this is our
because
first.
you want to start buying more property.
That would be great, yeah. I mean, you know, you got to take it one step at a time, right?
Well,
so it's a good opportunity for our business because I don't have to pay anybody else rent. I could pay one company, the other company rent. And it just made sense.
And you'll have your insurance.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we'll have our own insurance on the building and everything else.
You got that covered.
Yeah.
So so you grew up, you went to Lawrence Central.
Yep.
Right? Well, where do you live now? Where do you live?
I live south of 38th.
Okay.
Like kind of north side of Indianapolis.
Okay.
In the Watson McCord neighborhood.
Okay. So, and your wife, you and your wife live there?
Yep.
And do you have kids?
We do not. No, Kara and I, we've been together for 8 years now.
Yeah.
Met in college. We got married last November. So we're enjoying the good life. You know, we've done
awesome.
some travel.
You got enough going on. You got to play,
Yeah. Let's get through a couple hoops.
You seem like a planner.
I'm definitely a planner.
Yeah, you seem like
Kara, not so much. So I'm the one with the plan, and she's the one that keeps me on my toes.
And you were saying before we got on the air here that she was a news reporter.
She was, yeah.
Was she here, news reporting?
No, so that was part of our relationship. Was she was away in Illinois, Quincy, Illinois, which was the furthest you can go in Illinois without leaving Illinois.
Okay,
it's the tri-state area. So we did that for a while, and she did the news, and she was doing a lot of flooding reports.
Yes, right.
She was there during COVID, so a lot of COVID reporting.
Yeah.
She was there, and ultimately wanted to come home and start, a full-time relationship with me and her.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard being away. It's hard travel. I know. It's an actor. Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
And she ultimately just decided to go a different route for a career path.
What'd she do?
She's in sales as well, so she's in...
Okay. You better keep that. I'm not going back.
Back on.
Oh! So, okay. So she's in tech now. You're doing this. You're here. Got your your plan.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about, now we're not going to talk about insurance.
Okay.
Now we're going to talk about this diet you're on.
Okay.
Because my brother did it too.
Yeah.
And when he was on it, he called it the caveman diet. Right. That's what it was called when it was like, I'm on the caveman diet, because you're almost basically just eating meat.
Correct.
But is it chicken too, or just red meat?
I think it's supposed to be and it just depends, right? The caveman thing, I think that came from, what's the guy on social media?
I don't know.
He's jacked. He's got this big beard, and I think they call him the caveman.
Okay, so...
And that's his diet, I think.
Oh, or the caveman diet where, cavemen were mostly eating meat.
Yeah.
Where were the vegetables?
Right.
I mean, they weren't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it came from, spawned from that too.
Yeah.
So obviously it's done very well for you.
Yep.
Your mother is a nutritionalist.
Yep.
And she helped you.
Yep.
And so you eat very little vegetables.
Yep.
Right? But you do eat some because you have to.
Yeah, I mean,
it's mostly red meat.
It's only been a couple weeks, but I feel great after a couple weeks. It's a miracle what's happened to my stomach and everything else. Mm-hmm. But essentially,
just to let you know, because you started it because you were having stomach problems.
Correct.
It's not like, because look at you, you're thin as a rail. you look like you're in great shape, but because you were having some stomach issues, right? And your mother's like, hey, let's try this.
Yeah.
Well, rather than get on drugs.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Any kind of prescription drugs.
I've always been the guy that could eat whatever they want, whenever he wants. I would eat candy before bed or whatever the case may be. And it finally, I think it just caught up to me.
Right.
I'm almost pushing 30, and I gotta figure out how to get into a different routine.
Our bodies change.
So it was a big wake up call that I had felt so bad for so long for a period of time, and so we're eating steak for lunch, steak for dinner.
And are the portions smaller?
No, I'm actually eating a lot more.
Okay.
Because I'm not getting the carbs that are filling me up.
Yeah, no carbs.
So
which is really a part of a lot of nutrition and diets is no carbs.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And because it does, carbs can all of a sudden, you can feel the carbs bring down your energy.
Yep.
With pastas and breads and things like that. Yeah, I agree with that.
But also, too, carbs are good when everyone eats pasta before they go on a big run or, something like that. So it's still a good part of the diet. But I think, I'm not a nutritionist or anything. But
yeah, me neither.
I just know this is working for me.
Yeah, it's good. And you can eat eggs. You had eggs this morning. You can eat some vegetables.
I'll eat vegetables every now and
But
then.
your stomach feels good.
Feels great.
Yeah, see, and you were getting a little bloated and you feel
and everything,
good.
I mean, I'm
and so
crazy.
that's what we were talking about. We're like diet and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Diet and exercise can really cure so many things.
You change your life. I mean,
Yeah, it really
I was
can.
telling you that 2 weeks ago, I was a big grumpy, young man, and
You were grumpy.
and like boom, overnight I feel great. It's crazy.
I think it's awesome. I think that's excellent.
Yeah.
I think that what we talked about and having the other guys on here that went to school with Scott, and how you've all made your own paths, and that's not always easy, because it's kind of easier sometimes to stick with an easier thing, to be like, I'm comfortable, I'm fine, but you actually are like, no, I'm going to open this franchise.
Yeah.
You, right?
Yeah.
Just you.
Just me.
And then you hired employees.
Yeah.
And then you buy this building. Why? Even though I'm sure you got it for, it's what, college in 27th?
27 in college.
27 in college. That can be scary.
Yeah.
Things can be scary. You're taking a leap.
You have to be
right?
You have to be risk adverse. You have to be
You
okay
kind of
with
have
risk.
to be, yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
But I think it's great. I think even though you seem like you're planning, you have to take some risks.
Yeah, and I think
You have to take a risk to make things happen sometimes.
And I think the plan evolves every day, right? You think
Mm-hmm.
you have an idea, you think you have to have some type of roadmap, but every day you're gonna get thrown something different, and then that plan changes into a different plan. And so it's one of those things that personally, when you're young, I feel that I could lose everything today and start over, and I'll be okay.
Yeah, well, you're young. You're 29?
28, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I figure, what do I have to lose?
But
I don't
already at 28, though,
yeah,
look what you've done.
yeah.
Look at everything you've accomplished. Oh my God, you have like all these years ahead of you. My gosh, the sky's the limit, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Well, and I think
was
that comes
age.
from being around a family that I saw work hard and start a
Right.
business. And,
That's right.
The cool thing about being around a business like that is I saw when I was young, I saw all these employees that really appreciated what my dad was giving them, a
That's
good
right.
opportunity and
Right.
a way to change their life. And,
Right.
and it's really fulfilling when
Yeah.
one of your employees says, I'm really glad I took that leap and came and
course.
join your team. I mean,
It
it's
starts
really
from the
fulfilling.
top, and you're the top now.
Yeah.
And if your employees feel good, they're going to work better.
Yeah.
Everybody at work environment, everybody's going to work better.
Yeah, and then they're going to go home. It's going to be better at home life. Everything.
Yes.
Everything kind of flows,
Trickles down.
Yeah.
That's right. If they're happy at work, they're going to be, yeah.
and
Exactly.
everybody's more productive, and
That's,
you're having it. You're enjoying
Yeah.
life.
yeah. And you golf.
I do golf. I do a lot of different things, but golf is. Yeah, I do golf. I'm not the best at it. But
Wow.
I go out.
It's a
and
hard game.
Go out
You
there
got
and
to play
whack
a
a couple
lot.
balls and
You got to play a lot.
pray for a good shot.
Yeah.
And when you get that good shot, you keep coming back.
But now you can't drink the beer.
Now I can't drink beer. Yes.
Right, 'cause
So
the
I will
diet.
be drinking a bottle of vodka and soda.
On the course?
Well, it's making a to-go drink, like you're on a
Oh my
boat
God.
or you're at the lake house. You put them in the thermos.
Oh, in the lake house, sure. Yes.
Yeah, how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to have something at the lake house. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
And then you golf and you stop at the halfway house, because that's, what do they call that? It's like the ninth hole. It's like the little,
Yeah, you stop at the clubhouse
but
at the turn.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go in there and get some more food, hot dog,
Yeah.
chips.
Yeah,
but I
right.
can't have any of that, so
No.
I don't
No.
know what I'm going to do. But we'll
just
figure it
have
out.
Another drink. But,
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you. Jack Burd. Now, Scott's talking to me now. Scott Osborne is speaking to me in code. Okay. I don't know what he's saying. Scott, what are you saying? It's okay. We're all friends here. What are you telling me, Scott?
I think he wanted me to.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so
There's some real cool stuff.
since I started the agency, we've had some pretty significant milestones.
Oh, my God, you have to speak up,
yeah,
tell,
so
say that. That's very important.
2022, we did end up as the #1 agency in the state of Indiana. Per the metrics that they were looking at us, it could be growth, it could be clients. It could be all these different things, but we did end up as number one in 2022, which is a very big accomplishment for us because that was the first year we were in business.
The entire state.
Yeah. And then
Indiana.
of agency owners.
Yes.
So that was amazing. And then, since we started, the first full year we doubled in size of amount of business we're handling. And then now we're on track to double in size again. So we are
That's great.
we're always looking for new talent to come in and help. I've been in the business for 6 going on 7 years now, so I have a lot of knowledge to bring in younger people or experienced people, whatever that may be.
Right.
We're always looking for talent.
Yeah. Diverse?
Yep,
Not
diversity.
diverse, but like different ages. And you
different
don't,
ages,
you don't care. You're
different
like this. You can
ethnicities,
do what
whatever.
you can do.
It's
You're in.
What happens is you come in and you build your own market. We have a younger agent, we have an older agent, and they both have different clientele. But at the end of the day, we're all doing the same job and we're all
Yeah.
helping the same people.
Yeah. So you have to say that stuff.
Yeah.
You have to jump in here.
So sorry.
Okay?
Yeah.
You should be.
Be assertive.
Yeah. Come on, Jack.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Like you are on the golf course
Yeah.
and at the office.
Sometimes you got to lay up on the golf course.
Listen, that's a tough game.
Yeah.
It's hard. The hardest is the putting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You get it there in the green, but phew, that putting,
See, I'm off the tee box. The driver's the one that kills me.
man. And you got to play it. What do you play a couple of times a week?
Yeah. Well, I usually play once a weekend, and then I'll try to get out. And then my wife plays too, so we'll go out.
Yeah.
We're going out tomorrow.
That's great.
Try to get 18 holes in. It's a good bonding experience.
Yeah. I think it's a hard game, and you have to play a lot.
Yes.
Almost
Yeah.
because it's weird because that's the kind of game it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Have we?
Well, I mean, I guess.
Come on.
Kind of tell you a little bit about
Come
what
on.
we do as an agency.
Go.
We can basically handle any line of insurance.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, what insurance? You guys cover everything,
so,
right?
Indiana Farm Bureau. It
Yeah.
depends on who our client is, what they're looking for. It's all. I mean, for us, it's to get to know the client.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, insurance can be very transactional. I pay my bill, or I called, I went online and bought something. It's different for us. We want to get to know our clients. We want to be there for the long haul. We don't want them to have to go to company to find a better rate or whatever they're looking for. Could be customer service. It could be somebody just an ear to listen to when something's going wrong. But that's kind of where we kind of differentiate. Is like we want to build with your family. We want to.
You want to feel comfortable.
Yeah, I want to know what your kids are doing. When I pick up the call, I want to ask how Sherry's doing, or
Right,
whoever it is. I want to
right.
know who you are.
Yeah, you personalize it.
Exactly,
That's good.
because at the end of the day, if we're going to be working together for 10, 15, 20 years, I want to know who you are.
Yeah.
And you probably want to know who I am.
That's of course. It's
So-
a trust.
Absolutely.
you know?
And when recommendations are,
Yeah.
people trust you, and
Yeah.
they'll listen to your recommendations if there's something that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we can do any line of business. So home, auto, business, commercial, life, health. We have a brokerage where we can go find surplus lines. If you need different types of things that Farm Bureau can't do, I can go find it somewhere else.
God.
So,
You
one
run the
stop
gamut.
shop. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does every franchise do that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
You can specialize, right?
Right.
If I say, hey, I really want to be focused on commercial business.
Right.
Yeah, we can just say, hey, we're only going to do commercial,
Okay.
or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like to do all of it just to.
Wow. That's and how many people do you have underneath? Not under you, but working with you.
Yeah. So right now we have 2 employees.
Okay.
We just downsized from 3 to 2.
So it's you and 2 others.
Yep, me and 2 others.
Okay.
It's a lady named Megan Barton. She is under about a year into the business. And then Mark Leiden came over 2 years ago,
Okay.
and he had some outside experience in insurance that he
That's
brought.
nice. It's small. 3 of you.
Yeah,
I think and your goal is when people call you or when people walk in to talk to you, it's the comfort level,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want them to come in knowing who I am already,
Yeah.
so they're not like, oh, I'm going to go meet Jack, and I don't know what to expect, and all these things. So when I talk to somebody over the phone, I want them to,
Right.
I tell them about me and where I came from, and
Yeah.
if I can relate to them on a certain
Good.
level, I'll figure out what we can relate on so that we can feel comfortable. And
That's
then when we
nice.
sit down, I might be at their house, or it might be at the office, or
Yeah.
might be at Starbucks, or wherever it may be. You feel comfortable.
And so they feel that you're invested, totally invested.
Absolutely.
Not just like, yeah, I'm selling you this.
Well, and 2, it's a 24/7 job. I mean, everybody has my cell phone number. All my
Oh, my
clients do.
God.
So weekend, a storm comes through. There was some bad storms a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, you get a call, hey, there's a tree through my window. You know, you pick up that call, and you rest assured, hey, it's going to be okay, and maybe give them a couple referrals to have somebody come out on the weekend. And so we work with a lot of different companies as well. Like
I think
roofing
that's
companies.
rare nowadays, to tell you the truth. And I think it's great that that it's smaller. You're smaller.
Yep.
It's not some big corporation where you get somebody on a phone or an automated teller,
Right.
and you get passed to this person, that. I don't know
Right.
where they have your cell phone number and they're like, "Hi, Jack, I need help."
Right.
You're like, "I got you,"
Yep.
right?
And I might not be personally able to do what they need done,
But it
I
doesn't
can,
matter. They can call you.
and they can ask questions,
That's
and
right.
I can ease their nerves, and everything's gonna be okay.
I think that is first thing. It's commendable. Number
Thank you.
one, because I think it's rare, with a connection like that.
Yeah.
And putting forth that extra effort. Well, no wonder you're number one in Indiana. Now, first off, and those people that you have. It must be also, it's word of mouth too.
Absolutely.
All the clients you have
Right.
are just going to tell other people. I mean,
Absolutely.
and word of mouth is
Powerful.
still, yes.
Very powerful.
Very.
Yeah.
And especially with social media today.
Absolutely.
It's all about that. Yeah, I think that's excellent.
Yeah, and you got to teach your employees the same thing,
Right.
because they're all extension of the agency. So
Well, of course, they're representing you.
If I'm doing it, everybody in the
Of
company
course.
is doing it. So
They're your representatives.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I have one last question. So when do you think you'll be in this building that you're going to make all swanky?
that's been a question that's been asked a lot. So we bought it about a year ago. So we've been working through some different steps. You got to go through the city and all these other things. We're hoping that we can start working on my office.
Yeah.
Middle of August.
Oh, that's not bad.
So, end of summer, maybe I can get me in there,
That's not
our
bad.
team in there, and then we'll knock out the other three.
Then you'll get the other things going.
Correct. Yep.
But that's not bad at all.
No, it's not, but it does feel bad when you've been there. You've had it for a year. It's
Well,
like,
yes, and you get anxious.
Yeah,
We were talking
absolutely.
about you get
Absolutely.
anxious to do stuff. You want it done right
Yeah,
now.
neither of
you
us
know?
like waiting around.
No, we don't like waiting around, right? Right. So you want it done. You're like, why is this taking so long?
Yeah.
But you did say you got the exterior done.
Yes.
The exterior's all, up to code now.
Yep.
And done, and then interior is gutted. But I think that really, when you think about it, end of summer, it's not that far away.
No, it's not. It's
know?
not. I've waited longer for
That's
other
right.
things,
And once
yeah.
you get in there, you'll be like, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's really important because you can obviously, you have to function first before you start renting stuff out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and two, like I said, if you can give your team members a fun, comfortable space, their performance and moods and everything changes.
Yeah.
So we're excited for that.
Well, when that all gets done, we ought to take this and go down there.
We'll do another. We'll do another
Right,
video.
Scott?
Yeah.
We're going down to 27 in college.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, Jack.
Have a whole production
Jack
going
Bird's
on.
new place.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my God. All right, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to wrap. You're awesome.
Thank you. You're awesome too.
You're excellent.
Very nice to meet
Congratulations.
you.
Very impressive.
Thanks for having me on.
Very impressive. Jack Burd. And you know what? Tell people right now, if they want to
Yeah.
use you for any type of insurance, what
Yeah.
are they looking up?
Yeah, if you ever want to get a comparison from us, you can just give us our office a call at 317-576-6900, or you can contact me directly at 317-574-6704, or email jack.burd, B-U-R-D, at IN, like Indiana abbreviated, farmbureau.com.
Get on it.
Give me a
Best
call.
insurance guy in the state of Indiana. Okay? Farmers Bureau, correct?
Indiana Farm Bureau, correct.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. They all have farm in there
My
somewhere.
God, Indiana
and-
Farm Bureau.
Yep.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, everybody. See you next week.